Have you ever felt a deep connection to nature that words just can't describe? Do you seek a spiritual path that honors the earth, celebrates the seasons, and taps into ancient wisdom? You're not alone in this journey. Welcome to the captivating world of paganism, a spiritual practice rooted in the reverence of the natural world and enriched by a tapestry of ancient traditions. Today, we're diving into how these timeless beliefs are being revived and reimagined to resonate with our lives today. Whether you're looking to deepen your spiritual connections, explore rich cultural heritage, or simply find a community that cherishes the earth as you do, this video is your gateway. Stay tuned as we uncover the secrets of modern pagan movements, from the magic of Wicca to the mystique of Druidism, and see how embracing these paths could transform your relationship with the world around you. Are you ready to explore a spirituality that transcends the everyday? Let's journey together. Let's begin by understanding what paganism actually is. Historically, pagan was a label used by early Christians to categorize people practicing polytheistic religions, that is, worshipping more than one god, or those outside of the Abrahamic faiths. In contemporary settings, paganism has been reclaimed to denote a variety of spiritual paths that often focus on a profound connection to nature, to the divine in multiple forms, and to ancient ritual practices. These paths are as diverse as the cultures they draw from, encompassing everything from detailed reconstructions of ancient religions to eclectic practices that combine elements from different traditions. Modern paganism, also known as Neo-Paganism, serves as a revival of ancient pagan beliefs, adapted to the modern era. It encompasses a wide range of movements including Wicca, Neo-Druidism, and eclectic forms of paganism. These paths often mix old traditions with contemporary issues, such as environmental activism and personal development. Neo-Paganism is marked by its diversity, embracing various practices from spellcasting and Sabbats in Wicca to the more ritualistic and community-oriented practices in Neo-Druidism. Reconstructionist paganism aims to resurrect the ancient religious practices as accurately as possible. Practitioners rely heavily on historical texts, archaeological evidence, and scholarly research to recreate ancient rituals and beliefs faithfully. This category encompasses various traditions, including Hellenism, which focuses on ancient Greek religions, Kemetism, which revives ancient Egyptian practices, and Religio Romana, which brings ancient Roman traditions into modern practice. Revivalist paganism, while similar in intent to Reconstructionism in reviving ancient practices, is more flexible in its approach. Revivalists adapt and interpret these traditions to fit contemporary spiritual needs without strictly adhering to historical accuracy. This category includes paths like Wicca, which, while rooted in older pagan practices, incorporates significant modern elements and personal empowerment into its practice. Nature and earth-centric paths in paganism emphasize a deep reverence for the natural world, viewing the earth as a sacred entity. This belief system is often pantheistic, seeing the divine in every aspect of the universe, and animistic, attributing a soul or spirit to all things, including natural and man-made objects. These paths often involve practices that celebrate the Earth's cycles and promote environmental sustainability. Humanistic traditions within paganism are characterized by practices that involve communication with the spirit world, primarily through the mediation of shamans. Shamans perform rituals, enter trance states, and use drumming, dancing, or even plant medicines to journey into spiritual realms. This category is deeply connected to nature and often includes a reverence for ancestral spirits and natural elements, reflecting one of the oldest forms of spirituality found across the globe. The diversity of paganism also extends to various regional and ethnic traditions that reflect the unique spiritual and cultural landscapes from which they originate. For instance, Baltic, Slavic, and Finnish paganism each revive the deities, spirits, and rituals native to their respective cultures. These traditions not only celebrate the historical and mythological heritage of their regions but also address contemporary issues through ancient wisdom, adapting their practices to modern-day relevance. Nordic paganism, commonly referred to as heathenry, revives the pre-Christian religions of the Norse and other Germanic peoples. It encompasses a rich tapestry of beliefs and rituals centered on a pantheon that includes gods such as Odin, Thor, and Freya. The practice emphasizes virtues such as courage, honor, and hospitality, which are derived from ancient texts like the Poetic Edda and the sagas. Heathenry is celebrated through rituals known as blots and symbols, involving offerings to the gods, ancestors, and the spirits of the land. The community aspect is particularly strong in heathenry, with a focus on building relationships through kindred and gatherings, reflecting the communal values of its ancient practitioners. Celtic paganism is a spiritual path rooted in the rituals and beliefs of the ancient Celtic peoples of Europe, particularly those from areas like Ireland, Scotland, Wales, and Brittany. This tradition draws heavily on the rich mythology and folklore of the Celts, emphasizing a deep connection to nature, the veneration of both male and female deities such as Brigid, Cernunnos, and the Morrigan, and the celebration of seasonal festivals known as the Wheel of the Year. These festivals include Imbolc, Beltane, Lughnasadh, and Samhain, which mark the changing seasons and agricultural cycles, reflecting the Celts' profound bond with the land and its cycles. Traditional witchcraft refers to a variety of witchcraft practices that predate modern neo-pagan traditions like Wicca. It is often rooted in the folklore, shamanistic, and magical practices of Europe, particularly those that are specific to distinct cultural or regional heritages. Unlike the more structured practices found in Wicca, traditional witchcraft tends to be more varied and less dogmatic, often emphasizing practical magic, a deep connection with the landscape, and an intimate understanding of local spirits and deities. Practitioners typically use tools, spells, and rituals that have been passed down through generations, making it a deeply personal and often solitary path. Wicca is a modern pagan witchcraft religion founded in the mid-20th century by Gerald Gardner. It combines elements of ancient pagan beliefs, ceremonial magic, and folk practices, with a strong emphasis on the duality of the goddess and the god. Wiccans celebrate the Wheel of the Year, which includes 8 festivals marking the changing seasons and agricultural cycles. Rituals often involve casting a circle, invoking the deities, and performing magic intended to bring about positive changes. Central to Wiccan belief is the ethical guideline known as the Wiccan Rede. And it harm none, do what ye will, which promotes freedom and responsibility in moral decision-making. Within the broad spectrum of Wicca, there are specific traditions like Gardnerian, Alexandrian, and Dianic Wicca, each with its unique characteristics. Gardnerian Wicca, directly derived from Gerald Gardner's teachings, is highly structured with a degree system and coven practices, emphasizing secrecy and initiation. Alexandrian Wicca, founded by Alex Sanders, is similar to Gardnerian but is known for being somewhat more eclectic and open to ceremonial magic influences. Dianic Wicca, founded by Zuzana Budapest, centers primarily on female divinity and empowerment, emphasizing women's spirituality and experiences, often focusing exclusively on the goddess. Hellenism, or Hellenic polytheism, is a modern revival of ancient Greek religion, aiming to faithfully reconstruct and practice the spiritual traditions, rituals, and mythology that were integral to Greek culture thousands of years ago. Followers of Hellenism worship the classical pantheon of Olympian gods such as Zeus, Hera, and Athena, adhering to a framework of rituals and ethical guidelines derived from historical texts, archaeological findings, and classical literature. This path emphasizes the importance of honoring the gods through traditional ceremonies, maintaining a moral life based on ancient Greek virtues, and celebrating the seasonal festivals that align with the ancient Hellenic calendar. Kemetism is a modern religious movement that seeks to reconstruct and revive the religious practices of ancient Egypt. Followers of Kemetism, often referred to as Kemetics, base their practices on the study of ancient Egyptian texts, artifacts, and rituals documented by archaeologists and Egyptologists. Central to Kemetism is the worship of ancient Egyptian deities such as Isis, Osiris, Anubis, and Ra, who are honored through rituals, offerings, and the emulation of Ma'at, the ancient Egyptian concept of truth, balance, and cosmic order. Kemetic practices often include the creation of household shrines, the celebration of traditional festivals, and the use of hieroglyphs and symbols that connect practitioners to the spiritual and cultural life of ancient Egypt. Religio Romana, or the Roman religion, is a modern revival of the religious practices of ancient Rome, aiming to reconstruct the traditional worship of the Roman gods and the rituals observed by the Romans. This religious path emphasizes a deep respect for the rituals and social values that characterized ancient Roman spirituality, including the veneration of household gods, Lares and Penates, state gods like Jupiter and Mars, and the observance of Roman virtues such as gravitas and pietas. Followers of Religio Romana engage in practices such as offering sacrifices, maintaining altars, and celebrating Roman festivals, which are meticulously reconstructed from historical texts and archaeological evidence to bring the spirit of ancient Rome into contemporary life. Eclectic paganism represents a particularly flexible approach within the pagan spectrum. Eclectic practitioners may draw elements from various pagan paths as well as other spiritual traditions to create a personalized religious practice that fits their beliefs and lifestyle. This approach allows for significant personal expression and adaptation, reflecting the individual's experiences, preferences, and spiritual insights. Neo-Druidism, or Druidry, is a modern spiritual movement that seeks to revive and reinterpret the ancient Celtic religious practices of the Druids, who were the priests, philosophers, and teachers of the Celtic tribes. This path emphasizes a deep reverence for nature, veneration of ancestors, and a belief in the spiritual interconnectedness of all life. Neo-Druid practices often include seasonal celebrations that align with the Celtic wheel of the year, rituals to foster a connection with the natural world, and community gatherings. Despite limited historical details about the ancient Druids, modern Druidry combines historical inspirations with contemporary ecological concerns and spiritual exploration, creating a unique blend of old and new spiritual practices. Asatru is a modern revival of the ancient Norse religion, focusing on the worship of the Norse pantheon, including gods such as Odin, Thor, and Freya. This faith emphasizes virtues like honor, courage, and community, reflected in the 9 noble virtues, a set of ethical guidelines Asatru adherents strive to follow. Rituals, known as blots, involve offerings to the gods and ancestors, often coinciding with seasonal changes and traditional Norse festivals. Asatru seeks to connect its practitioners to their heritage, the divine forces of the Norse cosmos, and the spirits of the natural world through these communal and personal practices. Pantheistic paganism encompasses a spiritual worldview that identifies the divine with the universe and everything within it. Unlike traditional theistic systems that separate the divine into distinct, external entities, pantheistic paganism sees every part of the natural world and the cosmos as manifestations of the divine itself. This belief leads to a profound reverence for nature and the environment, with practices often focusing on celebrating the inherent sanctity of the earth and all life forms. It is a path that emphasizes interconnectedness, with rituals and meditations designed to enhance one's sense of unity with the universe, fostering a deep, ecological spiritualism that can be both personal and expansive. Animistic beliefs are centered on the idea that all things, living beings, objects, and even natural phenomena like rivers and mountains, possess a spiritual essence or soul. This worldview is one of the oldest forms of spirituality, prevalent in many indigenous cultures around the world. In animism, every element of the natural world is considered alive and sentient, leading to a respectful and reciprocal relationship between humans and their environment. Rituals often involve offerings or communication with these spirits, aiming to maintain balance and harmony within the ecosystem. This deep reverence for all life forms fosters a connected and holistic approach to living, where the spiritual health of the environment is intimately tied to that of its inhabitants. Did we miss any pagan path? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please like it and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us to grow so we can keep making more videos like this for our amazing community. Thanks for watching.